Hi guys, welcome back. It's another day. It's another book review. I have been loving doing these one-off reviews and I hope you all are enjoying them too because I've honestly read more this year than I have read ever in my life, and I think it's because of the bookstore and because I'm there so much I can read during the day. That just means I have a lot of books to talk to you about. So the one that I wanted to recommend to you all today is Princess of the Midnight Ball by Jessica Day George. So this is a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling. If you ever watched that Barbie movie growing up or you've heard of that fable, this is basically a fable retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses. So a fun thing about this book is that I actually owned this book when I was in, I don't know if it was middle school. I think I got it in middle school and I read it for the first time forever ago. Absolutely loved it, and somewhere along the way my copy of it got really old, and I have books from my childhood that are still readable, but for some reason that book wasn't, and so I needed to get a new copy of it, and I knew I wanted to reread it because I was just craving a little sense of nostalgia, and this is the book that I wanted to read, and so I was actually able to order a new copy of it. I was so glad. Sometimes with these kind of books they don't print them anymore, and so it's harder to find new copies of it, but I was able to get one, which I was so excited about, and I absolutely loved it as much as I did the first time that I read it so long ago. So this book basically follows the same premise as the 12 Dancing Princesses. There are 12 princesses. In this book, each princess has the name of a flower because their mother was obsessed with her garden and named her princesses after her favorite flowers. And so Rose is kind of our main character. She's the princess that we are being told the story through. I find out pretty quickly that the 12 princesses are forced to go to the King Understone and dance for him at night, and we can tell that they are cursed. They don't want to be doing this. They have some sort of spell cast over them that they have to go, and they can't talk about having to go. And so when one of the sisters gets sick, she doesn't really get better because she's not getting that rest. She has to go dance at night. They aren't able to say what's wrong or what they have to do, so they can't ask for help. Part of the spell is that if they try to tell someone about it, they either go completely silent or they start talking in gibberish. Our male main character of the book, his name is Galen, and he is a soldier who is returning home from the war, and he lives with his aunt and uncle. His uncle is the palace gardener, so he starts working on the palace grounds, and slowly but surely he becomes friendly with the princesses and he grows to really care about Rose. Rose actually gets sick from a fall that she takes into a fountain. It was actually Galen's fault, but she gets pretty sick and she is having to go dance at night, and so she's getting sicker and sicker, and she even misses one night going down to the underworld to dance. King Understone's princes come up and Galen sees them in the garden. He's like, what is going on? There's something terribly wrong with the girls. And the princess's father, the actual king, he wants to figure out what's wrong with his girls, and he tries to fix it for them by bringing in princes to come, and if they can solve what's going on with the princesses, then they get to marry whichever one they choose and become king of their country. And no one has been able to do it. Everyone has failed, but Galen takes it into his own hands to save the princesses, and our story goes on from there. The writing in this book is just very beautiful and very magical. I've always loved a fable retelling, and this is obviously one of my favorites. I've reread it so many times, and there are actually 2 more books in this fable retelling series that she has written. Princess of Glass, which is a Cinderella retelling, and then Princess of the Silver Woods, which is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, and I have ordered both of those. They're both on back order right now, so I'm not sure when I'll be able to get them, but I'm excited to continue the series. She just has a really unique way of spinning this fable into her own story. It's obviously a retelling of a story that we all know and love, but she has her own little ways of making it a different story, and there are all these little nuances and details of the underworld and how Galen is able to save the princesses, and it's just a really enchanting story. And if you all enjoy fable retellings as well, or you enjoyed 12 Dancing Princesses when you were younger, I think you would really enjoy this book. Obviously this is a darker version of that because these princesses don't want to go dance like they do in the Barbie movies, but it's still an amazing retelling and it all ends happily. So I would highly suggest you pick up this book if you're interested in that kind of book. If you've never read a fantasy book before, I think this could be an entrance into fantasy. Even though it's more of a fable, there's still magic involved, so I would consider this fantasy, I guess. I guess fable retellings are a subgenre of fantasy. I don't know, but if you are wanting to get into more of a magical type book, I think this would be a great one to start with because there is magic involved, but it's still set in a real time. The cover is really pretty too. I love this girl's ball gown. I highly recommend this book. I hope you all have a chance to read it. If you have ever read this book, please let me know. As always, leave me a comment down below if you've read it or if you decide to read it after watching this video. Let me know what you think. And that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!